Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Students, we are going to start our next part of previous topic, which is actually shock. We were talking about the some types of clinico-pathological condition, which is actually a shock. So we have discussed about the we have discussed about the hypovolemic shock, and we have discussed also the signs and symptoms of the hypovolemic shock. We are going to study our next types of shocks. Shock. So basically, there are other five types of the shock. First one is cardiogenic shock, and the second, and we will also discuss distributive shock, and we will see the importance of anaphylactic shock also. And then we will discuss about the neurogenic shock. We will also discuss obstructive shock. So, what is cardiogenic shock? Let's start. We have already discussed that in hypovolemic shock, volume of blood suddenly drops. On the other hand, in this condition, in cardiogenic shock, blood volume in the blood vessels remain within normal limits or within normal range. But actually, what happens in cardiogenic shock? You have already studied that our body, our blood vessels are connected with a pumping organ, a unique pumping organ, which is actually heart. If a pump gets failed, it means pumping gets disturbed. So pressure or cardiac output become drops. So disturbance in cardiac output due to damage or due to abnormality in the heart, means abnormality in pumping organ, is actually can cause cardiogenic shock. So sometimes due to following causes, heart is unable to produce normal cardiac output. We have already discussed that a normal cardiac output is 5 to 7 liter per minute in our body. So due to disturbance in cardiac output, or due to disturbance or due to abnormality in the heart, cardiac output become drops. So drops in cardiac output can cause cardiogenic shock. So we have cardiogenic shock can occur in both tachyarrhythmia and bradyarrhythmia. Arrhythmias are actually abnormal heart rate, heart rate, exactly arrhythmia. So tachyarrhythmias are increase in heart rate. So what happen when heart rate gets increased? You are thinking about that. If heart rate increase, it means volume of blood, or it means rate of blood flow should increase. But actually, what happens when rate of blood flow in tachyarrhythmia, when heart rate becomes so increased that ventricles of heart ventricle of heart are unable to fill properly after each circulation. It means जब कभी भी क्या होगा कि ब्लड हार्ट बहुत ज़्यादा तेज़ी से पंप करेगा, ऐसे में हार्ट को वेंट्रिकल्स की फीलिंग मींस डायस्टोलिक ब्लड प्रेशर जो कि वेंट्रिकल्स की वजह से होता है, उसके अंदर ये देखा गया कि हार्ट रेट ज़्यादा होने की वजह से वेंट्रिकल्स में प्रॉपरली फिलिंग नहीं होती, प्रॉपरली ब्लड जो है फिल नहीं होता. क्यों? क्योंकि हार्ट की पंपिंग बहुत ज़्यादा है. हार्ट रेट इज़ सो हाई के वेंट्रिकल्स में ब्लड प्रॉपरली फिल होने से पहले ही, मींस हाफ ऑफ वेंट्रिकल फिल नहीं हुआ या थोड़ा सा कम हुआ, तो उससे पहले ही ब्लड को आगे पुश कर दिया जाता है. सो एज अ रिज़ल्ट, अगर वेंट्रिकल प्रॉपरली फिल नहीं हो रहा, तो इट मींस ब्लड जो है आगे जो पुश किया जा रहा है, जो आउटपुट दी जा रही है फ्रॉम हार्ट, सो कार्डियक आउटपुट बिकम डिक्रीजेज. सो डिक्रीज इन कार्डियक आउटपुट ड्यू टू मच high rate is actually tachyarrhythmia. So let's discuss it with an other point of view, like a stroke volume. स्ट्रोक वॉल्यूम एक्चुअली स्ट्रोक वॉल्यूम क्या है कि वेंट्रिकल्स में अंदर जो वॉल्यूम आता है उसको हम स्ट्रोक वॉल्यूम कहते हैं. सो होगा क्या, जब हार्ट रेट बहुत ज़्यादा इंक्रीज़ कर जाएगा तो ऐसे में क्या होगा, वेंट्रिकल की फीलिंग नहीं होगी. इट मीन्स स्ट्रोक वॉल्यूम क्या हो जाएगा, डिक्रीज़ कर जाएगा. सो इतना डिक्रीज़ कर जाएगा स्ट्रोक वॉल्यूम के वेंट्रिकल्स की प्रॉपरली फिलिंग नहीं हुई. जब देखिए सपोज करें कि एक टाइम पर क्या होता है, वेंट्रिकल्स के अंदर 10 और 20 इसी तरह का, जैसे कि आप कहें कि एक टाइम में क्या है, एक हार्ट बीट में एक ख़ास अमाउंट आनी है वेंट्रिकल्स में ब्लड की, जो कि स्टोर होगी, दैन उसको पंप किया जाता है टुवर्ड दी बॉडी और लंग्स. दैन अगर फिलिंग ही वेंट्रिकल्स की कम हो रही है और एंड जस्ट ड्यू टू वेरी हाई हार्ट बीट, वेरी हाई heart rate. So if heart rate becomes so high that के stroke volume decrease कर जाए, और stroke volume मीन वेंट्रिकल फिलिंग जो है वो डिक्रीज़ कर जाती है. उनको प्रॉपरली टाइम नहीं मिलता वेंट्रिकल्स को फिल होने के लिए, क्योंकि हार्ट रेट बहुत ज़्यादा, हार्ट पंपिंग बहुत स्पीड पर कर रहा है. तो ऐसे में क्या होता है, ड्यू टू टैकियारिथमिया जो है वो बॉडी सफ़र कर सकती है ब्लड की जो है आउटपुट डिक्रीज़ होने की वजह से शॉक में. देन देर इज़ अनदर कंडीशन इज़ ब्रेडियरिथमियाज. ब्रेडियरिथमियाज इज सिंपल टू अंडरस्टैंड बिकॉज इन ब्रेडियरिथमियाज heartbeat becomes so low that heart is unable to pump blood with normal cardiac output. Due to slow heart rate, blood pumping gets slow. When blood pressure or blood movement gets slow, then volume of blood in the blood vessels becomes low. So due to low blood pressure, due to much low blood pressure, patient can suffer with the cardiogenic shock. This is actually bradyarrhythmia. Then we are going toward the pump failure. In case of pump failure, there are two conditions: massive myocardial infarction and the cardiac myopathy. You have already studied about the infarction. Infarction is actually a necrosed area. So if myocardial, it means if the muscle of heart becomes necrosed, massively necrosed, then there are huge chances of the pumping failure. There are huge chances of the failure of the function of heart. So due to heart failure, due to infarction in heart, pump gets failed, then cardiogenic shock can occur due to failure of pump, due to failure of pressure. Then there is another condition is cardiac myopathy. Cardiac myopathy actually is known as dilating myopathy. What happens in cardiac myopathy, usually in cardiac myopathy, left ventricle gets dilated. When left ventricle dilated too much, then radius gets increased. So when radius gets increased, there will be more time is required to for heart to empty the ventricle, because ventricle radius gets very high. So ventricle is able to is able to take more blood than normal. If radius of ventricle is high, then there is more time is required to completely push the blood out from the ventricle. So due to ventricular dilation, or due to increased radius of ventricle, due to decreased radius of ventricle, pumping of heart become fail. So it can also lead to cardiogenic shock. Then severe valvular dysfunction. If a wall of heart become damaged. In case like an example is actually a mitral valve. In mitral valve, if infection is occur, if infection is present in the mitral valve due to any bacteria, and we usually pronounce it as infective endocarditis. If infection or if infective endocarditis occurs in the mitral valve, then valve gets destroyed after few time due to infection, or sometime sometimes mitral valve become unable to perform its normal function. So when ventricle contract, blood moves reversibly in the atrium, because mitral valve actually stops the reverse outflow of blood from ventricle to the atrium. So due to failure of mitral valve, blood moves from ventricle to atrium again. So this abnormal movement from ventricle to atrium due to just failure of mitral valve is actually can cause is another cause of cardiogenic shock, because pumping because volume toward the body become less, then it can cause severe condition. Then there is another condition is actually there is another condition is actually so on the other hand, severe valvular dysfunction also occurs due to another reason, which is actually a failure of pulmonary muscles. So there are some muscles are present on the heart which can if they can become failed, then failure of pumping can occur. Then a fourth one is actually a rupture of ventricular septum. There are two ventricles in the heart. You have already studied in the physiology. So if intraventricular septum, इफ़ वो सेप्टा जो कि वेंट्रिकल्स के दरमियान है, अगर वो डैमेज हो जाता है, इफ़ इंट्रावेंट्रिकुलर सेप्टम बिकम डैमेज, देन एंडोकार्ड देन जो ब्लड है उसकी मूवमेंट एबनॉर्मल हो जाती है. जब ब्लड की मूवमेंट अगर रप्चर हो गए तो वेंट्रिकल्स में ब्लड मिक्स होना शुरू हो जाएगा. तो देयर आर मैनी अदर कंडीशन आर एसोसिएटेड विद ऑल्सो डैमेजिंग ऑफ सेप्टा, बट नाउ वी आर डीलिंग विद द शॉक. सो वेंट्रिकल के सेप्टा अगर डैमेज हो गया, इंट्रावेंट्रिकल सेप्टा डैमेज हो गया, तो ब्लड मिक्स करेगा, जिससे क्या हो सकता है, शॉक में जा सकता है पेशेंट. एंड दी अदर इज द रैप्चर ऑफ फ्री वॉल. सो जो इफ़ अगर जो एंडोकार्डियम है जो कि हार्ट की एक वॉल है, अगर हार्ट की वॉल जो कि वो वॉल जो हार्ट के वेंट्रिकल्स और एंडोकार्डियम बना रहे, अगर वो वॉल डैमेज हो जाती है तो देन हार्ट से देखें, अगर हार्ट की वॉल डैमेज हो गई और हार्ट में क्या है, ब्लड, और ब्लड जो है हार्ट से मूव करके कहाँ पर आना शुरू हो गया है, जो हम जिसको कहते हैं मायोकार्डियम, जिसमें आना शुरू हो गया है, जो कि हार्ट के अराउंड जो है एक प्रोटेक्शन लेयर, अगर वहाँ पर आना शुरू हो गया तो ऐसे में होगा क्या. सो ड्यू टू रप्चर ऑफ वॉल, ब्लड जो है वेंट्रिकल से बाहर मूव करेगा. जब वेंट्रिकल से बाहर मूव करेगा तो ऑब्वियसली सो पंपिंग फेल हो जाएगी, प्रॉपरली ब्लड वेसल्स में नहीं जाएगा. तो इट इज़ एक्चुअली अ रप्चर ऑफ वेंट्रिकुलर सेप्टा एंड फ्री वॉल. सो दीज आर ऑल आर कॉजेज ऑफ cardiogenic shock. And cardiogenic shock is with respect to UHS, these some important causes are very important for you as well for MCQ. So try to understand these things clearly. We are going to start distributive shock. Distributive shock is actually as name indicating that disturbance in the blood distribution in the blood. How blood distribution, how abnormal blood distribution occur. You have already studied that our circulatory system has a capacity of blood 5 to 7 liter. So 5 to 7 liter is blood is also present in already present in our circulatory system. If due to any condition, if due to any condition, dilation, a massive dilatation of blood vessels occur, a massive dilatation of blood vessel occur, then there are huge chances of pooling of blood in the vessel. So due at dilation site, blood movement becomes slow, and pooling of blood can happen. Due to pooling of blood, blood pressure become damaged. So due to damage of blood pressure, and due to abnormal behavior of this blood vessel, distributive shock, blood distribution can damage. Because if there is a pooling at any single side, then there is a pooling of blood and in single side, then blood toward the normal tissues, blood toward the other tissues, blood movement toward the other tissues become damaged, or blood movement become less, just due to pooling of blood in the circulatory system and elsewhere in the body. Other organs suffers with the deficiency of the blood, so it can cause distributive shock. What is neurogenic shock? Neurogenic shock is all indicating that is actually related with the our nervous system. So neurogenic shock occurs due to due to failure of sympathetic nervous system in our vasomotor center. Sympathetic system is actually is responsible for the maintenance of tone of our vasculature of our blood vessel. If sympathetic nervous system gets damaged, or if sympathetic nervous system gets damaged, then our blood vessels will be unable to maintain tone. So then due to abnormal function, or due to inhibition of sympathetic nervous system, blood vessels become dilated. When blood vessels become dilated, then pooling of blood can happen. This pooling of blood can cause neurogenic shock, because they are actually direct they are actually in neurogenic, or failure of sympathetic system is actually a indirect cause, so we can say it's a neurogenic shock. So failure of sympathetic nervous system can cause neurogenic shock. Failure of vasomotor center is also related, like why vasomotor center becomes related, due to antidepressant drugs. Excessive use of antidepressant can cause failure of vasomotor center. Medullary infection, if there is any infection in the medulla, then it can cause damage of toward your vasomotor center. If any tumor is present, then it can also cause neurogenic shock. If spinal cord injury occurs, or spinal cord gets damaged, then it can lead to a spinal shock. It is also neurogenic shock. If the ganglion blockers, these are all actually so neurogenic shock is actually related to the abnormal use of drugs. So ganglion blockers, if medicine which can cause ganglion blockers are used, so due to blockage of ganglions, it can cause neurogenic shock. Due to block of release of norepinephrine, you should aware about the function of epinephrine and norepinephrine in endocrinology. So drugs block the if drugs block the release of norepinephrine, it can cause neurogenic shock. Similarly, if drugs block alpha 1 receptor, it can also cause neurogenic shock due to low signal transmission. Then other vasodilation drugs cause toxic, and other many vasodilating drugs can cause neurogenic shock if they use in toxic quantity or excess quantity. So there is another condition is actually anaphylactic shock. On the other hand, we simply in simple word we can say it's actually a severe form of allergic reaction. In anaphylactic shock, what happens actually, our body has mast cell in perivasculature. So mast cells are present, a special cell, mast cells, which contain histamine. Histamine actually most important vasodilator. So histamine can cause vasodilation of our blood vessel, a huge vasodilation. So whenever allergens cause any allergen whenever allergens came into body came in our body, then our mast cells which are attached with the IgE antibodies. So IgE antibodies are actually important in anaphylactic shock. Mast cells are attached with IgE antibodies. When allergen attached with when allergen came in our body come in our body and attached with the IgE antibodies, then IgE, due to attachment with IgE antibodies, mast cells gets ruptured because IgE are on the other hand attached with the mast cell. So when mast cell gets ruptured, when mast cell release the histamine granules, these histamine granules causes severe vasodilation of blood vessels. So in allergic reaction, suddenly allergic reactions occurs suddenly, and with it can cause very severe shock, or even it can cause sudden death. Many drugs can cause this allergic reaction. Anaphylactic shock can occur due to any other allergic reaction. So allergens are vary with respect to body. So this actually is a main mechanism against the anaphylactic shock. Anaphylactic shock is actually related with the allergy. So in allergy, I'm going to repeat it. Our body have mast cells which are attached with the IgE antibodies. So IgE antibodies are actually attached with the mast cells. When allergen came in our body, they become attached. Our IgE antibodies detects the allergen and attack on the allergen. When IgE antibodies and allergen gets attached, then on the other hand IgE are attached with the mast cells. Mast cell gets activated or ruptured, and release of histamine granules occur, which are actually was present in the mast cells. So due to release of histamine, and histamine is a major vasodilator. So histamine causes severe vasodilatation of the blood vessel. Due to severe vasodilation of blood vessel, blood pooling gets started. So due to due to huge blood pooling, patient can undergo anaphylactic shock, and patient will suffer with anaphylactic shock. And in many severe condition, patient can suffer with a death. So actually anaphylactic shock is also a type of distributive shock. Obstructive shock is actually is that के our जो है पंपिंग our हमारा हार्ट भी ठीक है, हमारा ब्लड वॉल्यूम भी ठीक है, ब्लड कैपेसिटी भी ठीक है, ब्लड कार्डियक आउटपुट भी ठीक है. So what is actually is problem in the heart? So first one is actually a cardiac tamponade. What is cardiac tamponade? You have already studied myocardium is actually present around our heart. If myocardium is actually is protecting our heart from external environment, and it is actually protecting our heart. So if myocardium gets damaged, if myocardium gets if due to any disturbance or due to any genetic cause, if अगर कार्डियक जो मायोकार्डियम है उसकी शेप चेंज हो जाती है, इस तरह से शेप हो जाती है कि इफ मायोकार्डियम गेट स्वेल एंड मायोकार्डियम स्टार्टेड pushing pressure on the heart. So heart is actually enclosed in the myocardium. अगर myocardium swell हो जाती है, ये myocardium abnormally तौर पर बढ़ जाती है, तो heart पर pressure build होता है. जब heart पर mechanical pressure build होता है, then due to high pressure, ventricles of heart become space in ventricles of heart become damaged. So due to decrease in space, or due to decrease in size or radius of the ventricle, due to pressure from the external myocardium, cardiac ventricles are unable to take proper or normal amount of blood just due to decrease in radius. It is actually a cardiac tamponade. On the other hand, what is tension pneumothorax? Cardiac tamponade can cause obstructive shock because if ventricles are unable to take normal amount of blood, then they are unable to push normal amount of blood as well. So if normal quantity of blood is not circulating in circulation blood vessels, then it can lead to obstructive shock. On the other hand, this is a tension pneumothorax. What is tension pneumothorax? Our lungs are actually protected by a pleural cavity, pleural membrane. So if a pleural fluid, as in our pleural cavity or pleural membrane, pleural fluid is present. If pleural fluid gets so high that increase in pleural fluid occurs, and due to increase in pleural fluid, pressure builds on the lungs. So due to इसका मतलब ये है कि लंग्स के बाहर एक झिल्ली है जिसको हम कहते हैं प्लूरल कैविटी. प्लूरल कैविटी में प्लूरल फ्लूइड होता है. झिल्ली नहीं, एक स्पेस है जिसमें प्लूरल फ्लूइड होता है. प्लूरल फ्लूइड जो है, अगर वो प्रोटेक्शन करता है हार्ट की, बिकॉज हार्ट इज़ आवर अ वेरी सॉफ्ट टिश्यू, सो हार्ट की प्रोटेक्शन करता है. अगर उस फ्लूइड में की कंसनट्रेशन बढ़ती जाए और इतनी बढ़ती जाए कि वो लंग्स पर अंदर की तरफ प्रेशर बिल्ड करना शुरू कर दें. सो चूँकि प्लूरल फ्लूइड जो है हमारे लंग्स की प्रोटेक्शन कर रहा था, सो जब उसमें बढ़ गया, जब प्रेशर बढ़ गया, तो ऐसे में क्या हुआ कि फ्लूइड बढ़ गया, तो ऐसे लंग्स में प्रेशर बिल्ड होना शुरू हो गया. तो अल्टीमेटली क्या हो गया, लंग्स स्क्वीज हो जाते हैं. लंग्स क्या हो जाना शुरू हो जाते हैं, उनका डायमीटर, उनका जो कैपेसिटी जो है एयर को जो है लेने की, वो कम हो जाती है. ड्यू टू डिक्रीज इन दी कैपेसिटी, देन क्या होता है, इस कंडीशन को कहते हैं टेंशन न्यूमोथोरक्स. के लंग्स के ऊपर प्रेशर बिल्ड होने की वजह से उनका साइज़ छोटा हो गया, और जिसकी वजह से क्या हुआ है, लंग्स जो हैं वो कम एयर जो है लेने की सलाहियत रखते हैं. एंड ड्यू टू डिक्रीज ऑक्सीजन और एयर इनटेक इन आवर बॉडी सफ़र्स विद दी can suffer with the hypoxia, and our body can undergo a obstructive shock. It's actually the tension pneumothorax. There is another condition, is massive pulmonary embolism. We have already studied that in case of DVT, most common cause of deep venous thrombosis. In deep venous thrombosis, what happens in deep venous thrombosis, embolus from deep veins come, and if they get obstruct in the pulmonary arteries or pulmonary veins, then it can cause severe shock in our body due to obstruction. Actually, it's another condition is obstructive shock. And it is left atrium pleural thrombus. Left atrium pleural thrombus, we have already studied that if the atrium pleural, if the wall of the mural thrombus, if left atrium undergo mural thrombus, if thrombus is formed at the left atrium, in the left atrium, then pressure, then function of atrium become damaged. Due to damage of atrium, function of atrium, it can we can consider it can cause obstructive shock. And these all were the common causes of all types of shock. There is another condition which is actually a septic shock. We will discuss septic shock and stages of shock in our next lecture. So इसको, इस टॉपिक को अच्छा सा तैयार करें. यूएचएस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू में इसमें बहुत सारे एमसीक्यूज आते हैं. गुड लक.